This day and age, it seems more and more young people are becoming obsessed with their social media, whether it's scrolling through Instagram, through Twitter, through TikTok, or whatever else. It seems all of these apps are taking precedence over getting good quality nights of sleep. Experts recommend around 8 hours of sleep for healthy young adults. However, college students are more likely to get around 6 hours of sleep, therefore building up a heavier and heavier sleep debt over time. While there are certainly many factors going into the chronic sleep loss of college students, such as stress, physical health, mental health, and all sorts of things, one of them is likely scrolling through social media while in bed at bedtime. A study done by Chang and other researchers in 2013 found that the use of blue light emitting e-readers right before bed significantly impacted sleep onset latency, or how quickly someone falls asleep, their sleep efficiency, so how well do you sleep while you're actually in bed, as well as your sleepiness rating the next day. So people who used blue light felt a lot more sleepier the next day. For my project this semester, I was interested in seeing how scrolling through social media at night, like many of us do nearly every night, would impact our sleepiness the next day, our sleep efficiency, our sleep onset latency, and just overall sleep quality. So for this study, I recruited my 3 roommates and I, so 4 of us total, were randomly assigned to either Group A or Group B via a coin toss. Groups A and B underwent a 3-day baseline period where we recorded all of our sleep data through sleep diaries, through sleepiness scales, and completed a PSYCH questionnaire to get just a baseline understanding of normal sleep hygiene. After this 3-day baseline period, Group A spent 20 minutes on a social media of their choice every night right before bed, whereas Group B spent 0 time on social media right before bed. After 2 days of these conditions, the groups were reversed, and Group B spent 20 minutes on a social media of their choice right before bedtime, and Group A spent no time on social media. Based on data collected in participants' daily sleep diaries as well as their Stanford sleepiness scales, participants who spent the 20 minutes on social media before bed were twice as likely to wake up in the middle of the night. They on average spent 12 more minutes in bed after waking up in the morning, but before getting out of bed and getting ready for the day. On average, they spent 15 minutes longer trying to fall asleep at night, and they were much more likely to report higher degrees of sleepiness the next day. Because participants of this study used blue light emitting devices to access all of their social media every night, this study further affirms previous findings, such as in the Chang 2013 paper, that blue light use right before bed can have significant impacts on overall sleep quality and contribute to the building of a sleep debt. A significant drawback to this study was the inability to extract the effects of blue light and the effects of social media itself on participants' sleep quality. Future studies should have participants use blue light emitting devices to consume both social types of media, such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc., as well as non-social types of media, so maybe reading a book, reading an article, things like that are not inherently social. In an interview with participants, all 4 noted that before this study, they had not really given much concern to their time spent on social media in bed, and they would have considered this time as just a few videos or a few minutes, when in reality, all 4 participants were using close to an hour of social media before bed during their baseline period. Also important to be discussed was that participants noted the content they were consuming as being not very impactful, not very meaningful, and often not even very memorable. It seems to be just out of habit that we get in bed and we immediately open Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and if we don't open these social media apps, we might open email or Canvas or whatever else we have downloaded to our phone. I think it's important to realize that these habits that we have right before bed do have significant impacts on our overall health, and our quality of sleep is not just limited to the 8 hours that we're supposed to be sleeping at night, not just limited to when it's dark outside. but our quality of sleep actually does impact our health in the short term and in the long term. I think if people better understood just how significant a role sleep plays to their overall well-being, they would be more likely to implement practical solutions to their poor sleep habits. So maybe putting screen time limits on a phone, deleting specific apps from the phone, or checking those apps earlier in the day if it's content you truly want to consume, or even sleeping with the phone across the room. All of these things can help us build better habits at bedtime that would facilitate a good night's rest. Overall, if you're anything like my roommates and I, then we should probably stop picking up the phone right as we're going to bed and start taking those 8 hours a little bit more seriously.